Hey everybody, it's Candy, aka Brown Eyed Girl 69. How y'all doing? Well, today is December 26th of 2025, so it's the day after Christmas. And I've had a pretty good last couple of days. And yesterday for Christmas, on Christmas Eve, I went to bed pretty late. It was probably about 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning when I went to bed on Christmas Eve. And because my daughter picked up a lot of those presents that I'd been housing for her for about a week, so she and Hunter could wrap them. And they had a lot to wrap, so she was updating me with pictures as the wrapping was commencing. And then she finally, took a picture of everything uh, underneath the tree, so to speak, even though they didn't have a tree. But they had a little area that they had kind of cleared out in the living room area because they lived in an apartment, and had a blanket and all the um, presents was set out on that. So it was pretty late by the time she finally got it all done. I think it was around 3 o'clock in the morning. And then I wound up waking up and about 10 o'clock on Christmas Day, and hung around, made me some coffee, got on the computer for a little bit, did a little bit of wake and bake, and then I got around and went to lunch and got to see my son-in-law's family and got to eat and got to see my grandkids, and they played a few games where the kids could win prizes, and then they started playing bingo where anybody could win. Well, I didn't take a bingo card, but I was sitting there helping my granddaughter Cadence with hers, and she ended up winning. I was so excited because both Everly and her both won a bingo round. Everly, they were playing this game where they had a peppermint stick. And basically, all the kids sat around in a circle, and they passed the peppermint stick around until the music stopped. And whoever had the peppermint stick in their hand when the music stopped was out. And that continued until the last person without the peppermint stick was the winner. Everly made it through 2 or 3 rounds where it was down to her and one other person, and she lost twice. So she was pretty upset about that. But I told her, there's still some games left that you can win, and they played bingo and she won. So she was pretty happy about that, and so was Cadence. Everly, she picked out. It looked like a snowman. It was 3 little glass jars decorated to look like a snowman. And I think in the top jar was marshmallows, the second jar was the hot cocoa, and the last jar was peppermints. So that's what Everly picked out. And let's see, what did Cadence get? I can't remember what Cadence picked out. But it'll probably come to me here in a little bit. But yeah, so we did that, and then after I left those festivities, I went and visited with my mom and just talked to her about different subjects. Kelsey and them had said that they were going to come over there before they went out to Lane's, because my son-in-law Hunter, his brother Lane, they weren't for sure if they were going to have a get-together out at his house or not, but they decided they were going to. And of course, I was invited, as I always am. But, of course, I chose not to go. But while I was over there visiting with my mother, and I didn't tell her that Kelsey and the kids were going to come by, there was a doorbell that went off while we were talking. She's like, I wonder who that could be. And I was like, I don't know. And I looked at my phone while my mom was going to answer the door, and I seen where Kelsey wrote, "We're about to pull in." So I knew it was them. So then, they arrived, they came in, and my mom gave the kids their presents, and uh, she had already given me my present, which she gave me, some money. And so I got to utilize that money. I needed a few things. I needed some socks, and I wanted to get a bra, a new one. Um, and I wanted to get a new candle. And I just wrote down a few things that, I want, and then a few things that I need. Well, I got a 12 pack of socks, and man, these socks feel great. And I had to go to the men's department to get them because all the socks that they had in the women's department just, I don't know what they're doing with women's socks and underwear and stuff like that, but I always usually get my socks in the men's because I wear a size 9.5 to 10 in women's shoes, and their socks aren't usually big enough for my feet, so I always had to get the men's socks. That way my whole foot and a little bit above my, because I like the ankle ones, but I don't like them where they're too low, and I don't like them where they're like snug on my feet, I like a little bit of breathing room for my toes and stuff. So I got some socks today. I got me a new sport bra because those are what I'm most comfortable wearing if I'm going to wear one at all. Got a few other little things. But overall, I've just had a really good last 2 days. Last night I watched 3 movies. I watched Grease, It's a Wonderful Life, and Cat People. Crazy combination, right? But I enjoyed every single one of them. Grease, of course, I've seen like a jillion times. It's a Wonderful Life I've seen like a jillion times, even though it still makes me cry and makes me happy, And then Cat People, I haven't seen that a jillion times. I've seen it a few times in my life, but hadn't seen it in a long time, and it happened to come up on the thing, so I thought, why not? I always liked Natasha Kinski. I thought she was really pretty, had really pretty eyes, and very full lips. So that's what I did last night. And then today, I went to bed last night probably about, 3 or 4 o'clock. And I didn't set no alarms, but I was up about 11 o'clock this morning. 11 to 12, somewhere around there. And I basically just hung out. My mom called me probably about 2 o'clock this afternoon. I'm going to get my bookshelf and my computer chair delivered next week. She talked to one of the guys that does her lawn and does other work around her place for her on occasion. And she talked to him and asked him because she noticed he had a pickup truck. And asked him if he'd be able to deliver. And she showed it to him. That bookshelf and computer chair over here. And he said he could do it. Just, he wanted her to call me first to see what days I was off next week so he can come by sometime. I told her, I was like, even if there's a day that he can come by on the days that I work, as long as he's here like in late morning, early afternoon, it should be alright. Because it's not like he's got to do much. He's just got to give me a chair which's got wheels. And then I just got to tell him where I want the bookshelf put because it is pretty sturdy and heavy, which I already got a place designed and put out for it, I believe. I don't know. I might change my mind and put it over here on this wall. But I have a few days to make the decision before it arrives here. So that's what she called me for, and we might end up talking for a good hour and a half. And I told her something I needed to go to the store and all that, so I went to the store and got a few things that I needed, and then I've come back home and done a few things around here and sat here and played around on the computer and done some soul searching within myself. Once I watch videos that pertain to whatever it is, I question myself on things. And that's about it. It is approximately 10:30 p.m. at night on Friday night. To be back at work tomorrow afternoon. So I thought I'd give everybody an update as to how my, excuse me, it must be that coffee. Let everybody know how my Christmas went. I probably might go to Norman tomorrow. Before I have to be at work, I have to be at work tomorrow at 3 o'clock, but I'm thinking about going to Norman to get a Dutch Bros and possibly stop by a shop and see what I can get. Because I'm always in need of herbs. Even though I still have plenty left from the last batch that I bought, which was the Blue Nerds. But I'm just going to see what they have to offer this go around. I kind of want to get some new buds. I want to get some buds because I got a new grinder, so I want to be able to use my grinder. So we'll just see. I might get me like a little quarter of some small nugs or see what else they have to offer. And since I got a little bit of extra cash, I have a little bit of money I can spend on things that I normally have to wait for a certain period of time to buy, you know. Anyways, peace, love, hugs, nugs. Hope everybody has a great weekend coming up. And my thoughts and positive vibrations are with the people out on the west coast of the United States right now. All those states have been getting pummeled with rain, snow, mudslides, flooding, etc. So I'm going to try to send some positive energy out to those folks. I think I just had another friend of mine on here. She posted that there is now some snow in Idaho. And I looked earlier on the weather map and seen the little snow band up in that area. Up in the Oregon, Idaho area earlier. So I guess snow finally came in for them. It was like 80 degrees today. It's crazy. We're going to be around 80 degrees again tomorrow. And then on Sunday we're going to be, I think in the mid-70s. But Sunday night, I guess we have a cold front coming through. And the temperatures are going to drop really fast. From being really warm to really cold. I think our low Sunday night's supposed to be 30 degrees. So basically going from all these really nice temperatures down to freezing weather again in a matter of hours. And this weather's the last bit of warm weather we're going to see until springtime. So I guess I'm going to just try to soak it all in as much as I can tomorrow and Sunday before I have to go to work. Because when I get out of work Sunday night, I'm going to be wearing a coat, gloves, and a hat, and my hoodie. dressed up, bundled up to keep warm. So anyways, peace, love, hugs, and nugs. Just rambling about much ado about nothing really, but I guess my issue is one reason why I ramble on my videos is because I don't have anybody to really talk to. Other than those people that I do talk to on the phone that call me on occasion, but I don't have anybody to talk to, anybody to converse with. Even just about my everyday life, you know? Nothing major, nothing of importance, just daily events or weekly events or just to have a conversation, you know? It seems like it's so difficult to get people to have a conversation with you nowadays. I don't know. It's kind of like I'm caught in the crossfire of things because on one hand, I like being by myself. I like my peace. I like my quiet. I like being able to be with myself and my own thoughts. But then on the other hand, when I want to express my thoughts or feelings on anything, there's not really anybody to listen to me. So that's why I make these videos, because, well, it's a way for me to release what I feel is pent up inside sometimes. So that's the reason why I make these videos, mainly is for me, not for really anybody else. I've made videos in the past where I've ranted and raved. And I've made videos before where I'm just like all chill and, you know, calm, cool, and collected. I've made videos where I've told stories and experiences that I've had in life. I've made videos on different strains of weed. I've made videos on what it's like to be homeless. I've made videos on what the government's doing to us, the agendas, and how we're seeing them played out. And people are just like, you know, lapping it up is how I see it. I don't really give my energy to that kind of stuff anymore because it doesn't really... It matters to me, but yet it doesn't matter to me. I've always been one to try to see both sides of the coin and to try to live my life as balanced as possible based on both sides of the coin. But anyways, I love you guys. Happy holidays again. And until the next time, I'm out.